morning, everybody. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning out in the garden. I got out here late, big surprise there. Um, and I am going to see what I can find out here. It's nice and cool right now. It's going to be another hot one here today, which yesterday I think we got up to 96, almost 100, maybe 98. The hottest part of the day. I wasn't really paying that much attention. Last time I looked, it was 96. And that's hot for us, almost 100 degrees. But they got really hot in the valley, and we're like 10 to 12 degrees cooler than them. So, yeah, once it gets to that point, we're like old farts, and we live up in the mountains. So we just go inside. So in the morning, we like to get all of our stuff done. So anywho, I'm out here in the garden. I kind of want to see what I've got going on. Everything looks really well. It still looks pretty damp. I might turn my sprinklers on, or sprinkler tonight. I'm not really sure, but most of my beds still look pretty wet because when the brother-in-law irrigates this pasture right out here, it seeps into the ground and comes up underground and goes up in my beds, which is an added bonus. He's not flooding out my garden anymore, so hopefully it doesn't rot my beds prematurely, but I think we'll be okay. He has a sawmill, so I can always have him mill me some more lumber. So let's take a look and see what we can find out here today. So first of all, this is my first bed, and as you're facing the garden, once you come through the gate, it would be on the right-hand side. We have got our spaghetti squash is blooming. However, these are all male blooms so far. I'm going to pinch off these spent blooms, hopefully to encourage more. They're starting to develop tendrils. And this guy is just growing across the way there, so that's good. I am going to pull, while my soil is still soft, some of these weeds out. Like I always say, grab them while you can. That way you're not overwhelmed once they all start growing up at the same time. So now I'm going to come down here. And this is our squash that we put the pole in right here. And I've got the camera kind of far away, but I'm down at the base. I think there's 2 plants in here, which is okay. And these don't look damaged, so I'm just going to chop and drop, basically. There we go. And don't cut anything else. Just do the very bottom. Otherwise, this one's yellow though, so I'm going to take this one off. He's more towards the very bottom. Kind of yellow. Oh, it has like a little spider web in there. I'll put him down here. So these are almost to the point where we can cinch them up to this pole, but I'm not really going to mess with them right now. Then if we come all the way down here, we've got, that's our Hubbard squash is blooming. And let's see, oh, these are the little sweet pumpkins that I bought from the little gal in Palo Cedro. She's not doing it this year. I know I mentioned it before, but so that goes right there. And I think these are my princess pumpkins. They're going crazy. Everybody wants to climb out of the box. And I don't know, I'm going to cut this off. See, this one's kind of brown and damaged. That way your nutrients is going to the healthy part of the plant. So that's what we have there. So I'm going to leave those alone. So then I turn around behind me over here. I think you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm checking my okra. My okra's got little babies on it. And I've got some weeds that are developing over here. So I want to pull those out while my soil is nice and moist. Oh, there's a blackberry that's trying to get in there. Those guys take over everything. We love the wild blackberries, but boy, oh boy, oh boy, between those and the wild roses, which I love because that's where I get my rose hips from in the winter time. But those things are terrible, and you can't really kill either one without using poison, which we don't like to use. So, all right, we're going along. We're going along. Oh, look at here. Here is a brown cherry. Thank you to my sister. It is just loaded, but they're still not ready. Oh, here's one. Come on, little fella. Here's a couple. All right. I think I'll show you these. I know I've showed them before. They have an outer shell. Let me turn you around this way so you're not quite in the sun. There we go. They have an outer shell, husk, hull, whatever you want to call it. Tomatillo family. And they're yellow. These are kind of small. My chickens are laying eggs. I can hear them in the background. This one's a little split. I'm going to eat it anyways. Then I'm back over here. I think I'm going to move my camera. As I said, I'm out here kind of late. So we're competing against the sun. So I am going to go ahead. We've got my bunching onions. They're getting larger. I was going to thin these, but I decided not to disturb them, especially now since they're growing up so high. So those are all trimmed up. And then, of course, we have our calendula. So I'm going to go ahead and pick those. So I'll be right back. My sweet guardian, Johnny. Johnny, Bonnie boy. Oh, no. I got a little baby okra and some calendula. If you pick it every day, it doesn't get too out of hand. There is a beautiful marigold straight across with Cracker Jack marigold, and there's a giant bumblebee on it. I don't know if I can get you over there. Hold on, without scaring it. There she is. Isn't she beautiful? She's still in the flower for her morning slumber. I just love these guys. They're so stinking pretty. Had to show you my volunteer sunflower. It's about as tall as I am, but look, she's getting ready to bloom. Got a couple of nice lemon cucumbers. I'm going to make a cucumber salad tonight. I bought a big red onion from the farmer's market on Thursday. So between the onions, cucumbers, and a little red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, maybe some garlic powder, and just a pinch of sugar. And I put them in the refrigerator and a Tupperware, and I rotate them every time I think about it. By dinner time, you'll have a delicious cucumber salad. Got just a tad bit of yarrow. I just keep collecting it little by little. I think we have some more green beans that we can pick to add to the pot. We're having spaghetti tonight. And I think I have some bacon. I'll put a little onion and bacon in my green beans to have with our dinner. Yum. Couple more lemon cucumbers to add to the pot. Look at this. I got a couple more Marconis. I'm going to have to make some garlic aioli. And look at these little purple tomatillos. If you take these husks off, you can put them in a windowsill, because once these little husks burst, I pick them because I'm always afraid they're going to drop on the ground. But yeah, this is what we just got off of there. So that's our biggest harvest, although be it small, of tomatillos. Another. All right, it looks like we have some more dill to harvest. This one accidentally got broke, so he's coming with me. That one's coming with me. And this one has a, let's see, we'll cut him right here. You can't see, sorry. It's a nice large head, not as large as most of them. Here's another one. And then if I move you up here, there's more. Uh-oh, one of these came undone. Hold on. I'm like, what's going on? There we go. This guy right here is dried. Not as large as the ones we were getting in the beginning, but it is getting hotter. Dill does like the cooler weather, but they're still viable. So we're gonna, ooh, some of the seeds are coming off, darn it. This one's drying up. We're gonna take that one. And you can never have, in my book, too much dill or dill seed. Dill weed or dill seed. So look at all this. Lovely. Okay, so this is our wonderful market pole beans. And I'm picking as many as possible because I want to add it to the pot, even if they're a little too young to pick. I want to add it to our little frying pan. I might just saute them with the bacon and pan sear them. They're awfully good. I like them al dente. My mother used to put them in a big pot and let them simmer all day with the bacon and the onions. I like them that way too. But I kind of prefer them more al dente, like stir-fried almost, still crunchy. Some of these are small, like I said, they're pretty small. But we are going to add them all to the pot. And let's see, there's not a whole lot, but the more you pick, the more that grows up on it. And I'm pleasantly surprised about these pole beans because they say instead of bush beans come on all at once. And pole beans just kind of produce throughout the summer. Not kind of, they actually do. And this way I'll have green beans all summer long. As far as canning, I think bush beans are your better bet because boom, you harvest them all at once and then you can can them. But we got a nice little harvest. I got a nice little second wave of strawberries, and look at this beautiful Anaheim chili. These are great. You can eat these raw. You can put them in stir fries. They taste kind of like bell peppers. I just checked my Aunt Ruby's green tomatoes, and they're still really, I have one about this big, still very, very firm. So I have to remember that they are green to check them periodically and not wait for them to turn red because obviously they will not. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch off some basil. I'm making spaghetti tonight, and I use my home canned sauce from last year. And I do put fresh herbs in there that I grow. I've got my rosemary, oregano. I don't think I put thyme in it, but I do put a lot of basil. I love basil. So, but I have an abundance of basil right now, and it's nothing like adding at the last little bit of simmering your sauce, add some fresh basil. So I'm going to do that for tonight. Possibly add some of my homegrown garlic. I don't know. I'm excited. All right, I got quite a bit. I always forget, I gather the basil towards the front of the garden before I gather the stuff back here, and this gets left, so I had quite a bit to harvest. I have to remember to alternate. All right, let's go on. All right, guys, that's about all I have for you today. I am going to go ahead and take all this stuff in the house and process it, and then it's time to make breakfast for Gabby and the mister. I don't usually eat till about 12:30, so yeah. I'm going to cook them breakfast, and by the time I get done with that, it'll be time to take care of my chickens. All right, I hope the sun is shining where you are. If it's hot where you are, please stay hydrated, cool, take lots of breaks. Be very careful out there because it gets, like in my area down in the valley, it gets super, super hot, and you can become heat stroke very, very quickly. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you're happy, healthy, safe. God bless you all, and happy gardening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.